chief guest who has left us, Mr. Silvanus Osoro MP, the leadership of Mount Kenya University, see Stanganga here, the Pro-Chancellor, the Dean, and the academic staff. In the interest of all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I must say I'm very impressed by this occasion. I'm very happy to be part of this high-level luncheon. I think first of it is kite among the universities in this country. I think you better appreciate yourself. Mount Kenya University is one of the most prestigious universities in Kenya today. It's a very modern learning facilities, a robust faculty, a rigorous academic program, and we are waiting with keen interest the pioneering LLM program on international development law, which we advertised for January 2024. I was actually very impressed by what your dean said about integrating theory and practice in this course. When I was a student at Harvard, the law school, I took a course called the Law of Political Violence and Terrorism. And our professor was the retired Director General of the Israeli intelligence. So they brought him all the way from Israel because they had done a lot investigating terrorism and political violence in various countries in the world. So this is what we are talking about, integrating legal theory and practice. And I think that's the way to go. So thank you very much for that idea. The founder of Mount Kenya University, Professor Simon Gisharo, is my good friend, and Nganga, you know that. And I must say I'm very, very proud to be associated with Mount Kenya University. You know, you have a campus where I come from, in Meru, and it is one of the popular private universities in that region. The distinguished faculty, alumni, and alumni of this law school, I gained role models. You have seen Silvanus here. They are the inspiration, the beacon of hope for thousands of Kenyans who aspire to join the prestigious legal profession. Sometime way back, I think some of you have read about Mr. Justice Candoso. The judges who have learned about it because of the paper judge in the US. So he was invited to give a talk at the Yale Law School in 1921. And he turned down the invitation. He wrote a letter saying he could not go there because he had no message to give to the university. But when I received this invitation from Yukonda, the mother, or Maida, I quickly agreed to come because I have a message for you and the lawyers in the country. As some of you may be aware, for the last 40 years, I have traveled a unique and an extraordinary journey as a law student, as a law teacher both at the Kenya School of Law and University of Nairobi, as a human rights lawyer, an advocate, a member of parliament, a human rights activist, a street fighter, a cabinet minister, a senator, a governor, a law reform commissioner, and now as a chairman of our parastatal corporation. I must say I've learned a lot, not only from lecturers and books, but also from the University of Life. Currently, I'm a student of happiness at the Happiness Studies Academy of the US. And next month I'm traveling all the way to Cartagena in Colombia. I want to see my certificate because I've completed my studies. I can confirm that the legal profession is a noble profession. Lawyers play a pivotal role in solving problems, protecting individual rights, promoting social justice, and ensuring smooth functioning of institutions of state. Lawyers use law as an instrument for transformation of society, and they make positive difference in the lives of many people. In the process, of course, some lawyers become rich and some become powerful. They hold senior positions in government, in parliament, in corporations, but also in the private sector and the civil society. Lawyers consider themselves a special breed. They live in the law, reading about problems, reading boring, obscure legal texts, dissecting paragraphs, commas, and full stops. As Professor John Norman observed in his book, Persons and Masks of the Law, written in 1976, he said the law does not recognize biological human beings. In the eyes of the law, human beings are given legal or judicial recognition merely as objects of the law, as bearers of rights, duties, powers, obligations, and not simply as men or women. Various human rights actors in legal drama also wear masks to consider their human identity. That's why you hear such names as judges, plaintiffs, defendants, prosecutors, etc. Even hangmen are called executioners. Nobody wants to call them hangmen. They have to be given this mask. So today, my message to you is a very simple one. I want to remind you, despite or in addition to all these legal titles that you give to people, you yourselves, lawyers, are still men and women. You are human beings, and whatever happens to other human beings also happens to you. As you know, there's always this dichotomy in life. There is always a yes and no. There is always day and night, good and bad, happiness and sadness. And the legal profession, too, has its own highs and lows. It has positives and negatives. This is normal in life. I started my legal practice in 1980. Those days, I could not go for lunch, fearing that a client could walk in when I go out for lunch. I was worried, I was anxious, and I even developed stomach ulcers because I stayed with too much worry. 10 years later, I built a successful legal practice. Many of you know Kamaukuria, Kiraito, and Ngara advocates those days. But again, I could not go for lunch due to pressure of work. I used to eat bananas in my office for lunch because I had no time. So I developed diabetes and high blood pressure. Like other human beings, lawyers want money, they want wealth and prestige. They want to love and to be loved. But as you all know, we are all, as lawyers, under very intense pressure from spouses. If you are a man, Your woman has always, your wife has always seen you have a guy with a new car when you're driving an old one. Or a bigger house when you're living in a flat. So there's always spouse and peer pressure for one to make it, to be more successful. But it is not that easy. Even as you know now, life is hard. And there are many lawyers who are wearing nice suits, but inside they know they are just barely trying to survive. Mambo magumu. Many want to move forward, but for every step they make forward, they find themselves 2 steps back. Life has become frustrating, a treadmill. Those who have read the myth of Sisyphus, the Sphere struggle pushing the stone of life up the hill, only for it to continuously roll down over and over again. So some lawyers are giving up, some have become hopeless, and life has become a vacuum, full of emptiness, purposeless, and hopelessness. In the year 2021, I found myself very ill and alone in an isolation ward with COVID-19 in Nairobi Hospital. I thought I was going to die. Life looked so empty and meaningless. All these titles you want me telling you about cabinet minister, they all look useless to me that time. And I felt useless and abandoned. During that time, somebody gave me a small book by a Roman philosopher called Lucius Seneca, called The Shortness of Life. In that short book, he said, no life is short. We only waste it. We are obsessed with insatiable greed for money, power, and prestige. And we usually dedicate ourselves to useless and irrelevant pursuits and allow our lives to be stolen by others. So that time, I discovered you can never get enough. However much you try, you will never get enough money. You will never get enough power. Never will you ever get enough prestige. You always crave for more. Even if you got 2 million shillings as a salary today, you'll be making a budget of 2.5 million or more. So that time when I was sick, I reflected on my life. I made what is called a retrospective review. And I discovered that politics had distorted my life. Doing this, just running around to please other people, but not myself. I decided from my bed that if I recovered, I would reclaim my life, and that I would live a happier and more enjoyable, meaningful life for myself. But as fate would have it, when I recovered, I found myself in politics again. And I was saying, this is the final election I'm going to do. I put on all my energy, all my resources. Actually, I spent an incredible sum of money trying to win the 2022 elections, but I lost. Again, I found myself reflecting on my life. And this time I decided I will leave politics for good and for you. So I promised myself I'll never go back again. I also decided to change my life and seek peace, calm, and happiness, and enjoy the simple pleasures of life.
eat nyama choma kidogo kama wengine without too much pressure, like other human beings. And it is that moment that by accident, just surfing the internet and Facebook, I came across the Happiness Studies Academy. So I enjoyed the academy, founded by Dr. Tam Ben-Shahar, who is a famous psychology professor from Harvard. And has written many books on psychology. The academy has helped me to gain great understanding of life, more understanding of happiness, and has also shown me how to live a more peaceful, happier, healthier, and meaningful life. Like you, I'm a practicing advocate. I'm a senior partner at Humphrey and Company Advocates, which is some association with this university. And simply, I'm a lawyer just like you. But as somebody said here, I think it was MC, he said a lawyer's life does not have to be unhappy. You don't have to be stressful and hopeless. You don't have to live a life without fun, without joy, laughter, love, and romance. As lawyers, I want to declare today that we have a fundamental human right to happiness. You have to live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. This is my message I want to convey to you today. I was a cabinet minister in Kibaki's time. He always used to tell us, you know, after I had an accident, he went to State House in a wheelchair. A very humbling experience. He used to tell us, fanyeni kazi na mujienjoy. So we didn't know what it meant then, but now I understand it. So all these plots of land you are buying, big cars, flats, huge cash deposits that you are putting in the bank, they're important to give you security, but they'll never give you happiness, because happiness does not come from things. Happiness comes from human beings. It is the relationship that you have with other people, the networking which you are being told about. That is where your happiness will be found. It is the well-being of the whole person, living a full, fulfilling life, a life of pleasure, contentment, satisfaction on a long time basis. You have all passed exams. You know how excited, how happy you are when you pass an exam or graduate. But that's the short-lived. 2 weeks later, you discover you don't have a job, you get stand again. Then you are promoted, you are very excited to become a professor or a dean, and then immediately you get to the office, Shinda. Don't know who is done what, who is quarreling with who. Then the joy that you had as you ran at the job disappears. You buy a new pair of shoes. As you walk home, you feel like you're walking on the moon. But 2 weeks later, you don't remember you're wearing new shoes, because there are things in life. So that's not the happiness I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the spikes, the short-term highs of happiness. We are looking at contentment in life, satisfaction on a long-term basis. So the Happiness Studies Academy has developed what they call the Spire Model of happiness, which is the comprehensive framework for understanding and facilitating happiness. So the Spire is an acronym for spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional well-being. So they are looking at the totality of the human experience. Now they say you should not go out there to pursue happiness, because happiness is within you. Happiness is within your own mind and body. So the idea is to discover and cultivate happiness in your life. So the five Spire elements, very briefly, are First, spiritual well-being. Spiritual, you don't have to be religious to be spiritual. Spiritual means passion and commitment. Finding meaning and purpose in your life. You remember the way Wangari Maathai was passionate about forests. Yeah, Wangari Maathai was a veterinary scientist. She had not even studied forest in school. But this is something she lived. She was so passionate to die for. So you need some meaning. You need something that you're so passionate, things that you like to do. Now, if you don't find excitement in law, it doesn't matter. Go and grow beans or do anything else which you feel happy about. Yeah, these 4 years you spent here should not tie your life into a life of misery. Do something that you are passionate about. Or in addition to law, do something else over and above. Like now I'm practicing law and I'm studying psychology, I'm studying happiness. So this is the whole idea. Be spiritual, meaningful in your life. 2 is physical well-being. You have to take care of your body, take care of your health, exercise regularly, do games. This dancing which was here was very good. I would encourage more students and even those who have graduated to find ways of dancing and being happy, like the ones who are dancing here. So eat well, sleep, rest, and enjoy pleasures of life with other human beings. 3, there's the intellectual well-being. Intellectual well-being requires you to engage and stimulate your mind. Be curious. They say curiosity only kills the cat. It does not kill human beings. So be curious, learn new things, be open to new ideas and experiences, read books, not only your own books, read other books as well. Anything you find interesting, watch movies, hike, travel, meditate, do yoga, surf internet, enjoy anything that exposes you to new ideas, new experiences. Try those things. That makes life more interesting. Then there's the relational well-being. They say social relations are the greatest generators of happiness. As I told you, you only get happiness by other people. Even if you made millions of Kenya shillings or became a billionaire, or you got 5 law degrees, and then you're all alone, those things become meaningless. You know, they only become in the context of a human interaction and universe. So you cannot be happy alone. Prioritize, invest in relationships. Spend time with your family, friends, colleagues, and be nice even to new people. That's how you make friendships. I know you can be very busy. Sometimes you have no time for your wife, no time for your children. And sometimes you feel guilt and just give them heaps of money. But these people don't really need your money so much. Okay, they need money because it's necessary for life. But what they need most is your presence. You. Attend your children's birthdays, even if you are top lawyer. That is how they recognize. You become happy, they become happy. And so relationships are very, very important. Then the last is what they call emotional well-being. As lawyers, we should give ourselves permission to be human. As lawyers, you are going to experience all the which other human beings experience, both positive and negative, painful and pleasurable, joy and sorrow in your journey of life. Even if you are very successful, even if you become a professor and whatever, even those successful lives also come to an end. You die one day. So there will be a lot of pain, there will be sorrow and suffering as you lay those who are near and dear to you to rest. Some colleagues, whatever, they will die and they will be very painful for you. So in those situations, we should learn how to accept and manage the inevitable pain in our journey of life. So we should understand that any pain that you come across, the pain is not permanent. Pain is temporary. And you should start seeing your life beyond it. I would encourage you to read Viktor Frankl's book, which is called Man's Search for Meaning. Even the worst, the most painful circumstances, you think in the future beyond that pain, then the pain becomes less, becomes temporary, and you survive it. That, in a nutshell, is what we learn at the Happiness Studies Academy. Because this is very compressed. But let me say in conclusion, simple message that money is a necessity in modern society. You can't live without it, so you need it, so you have to work, make some money. But money is not everything. You'll be having money and still be very unhappy because you have no family, you have no friends, you have no love, or you have nobody to talk to. So as the staff, alumni, and the students of this law school, you have a duty not only to build a strong, effective legal community, which will produce excellent lawyers, but also you should be able to aim at producing leaders for a radical transformation of our society. A society which is more human, happier, and healthier society. For me, this is my new mission in life. Yes, I'm practicing law, but I'm also looking at the world beyond the law. I brought here some copies of the journal that we produce, the Happiness Journal. I think you've seen it around. And our topic for this month is does romantic love give you happiness? So I'd like the students and other people to look at it, because I know how excited everybody gets about it, but you decide for yourself whether it is making sense or not. I think for now, let me congratulate the Mount Kenya University, the law school, for bringing to the Kenya School of Law and to the market at least another almost 2,000 lawyers in a very short time. It's a great achievement, but let us look at the quality of the lawyers and the impact that they are going to have in the world. You may not see it. I remember when I went to university some time ago, Dr. Joseph Karanja was then the Vice Chancellor at the university. And he told us the university is not a sausage factory, where you stand at the end of the line and count the number of sausages which are coming out. The university is producing intangible products which you cannot see immediately, but the impact are going to be seen much later, many more years later in society. I believe Mount Kenya University will giving us quality, intangible products which will transform this country. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.